What's up, everyone? It is time for a new series on this channel. Today we are doing ZENSHU episode 1. I'm going to give you the context of what I know about ZENSHU before we get into this and what we're doing today. But you know, make sure if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Jent. It's good to meet you. And if you like my vibe, if you like my style, go check out some other videos on the channel. I do a lot of stuff on this channel. I also have a One Piece channel called Jent Watches One Piece. If you like anything that I do, go check it out. But today we're jumping into something called ZENSHU. Now, this, what I know about it is, it's a MAPPA anime, I believe, and MAPPA obviously makes some high quality shit a lot of the time. I think this series doesn't have a source material. I think this is an original anime. So I'm really curious to see what we're going to see. And like this series has also gotten like a surprising amount of people looking forward to it or talking about it coming, despite the fact that, as far as I know, there's no source material. So that kind of bodes well for me, because I feel like original anime struggled to get hype behind it. But I guess because it's MAPPA and the things that they've shown from it, people think it seems cool. I think what I know about it is that it's about like an animator girl or something, like a girl who's an animator. And so, but I guess that's kind of it. That's kind of all I know. I think she's like maybe awkward or has like, she doesn't really understand love or something like that. Like I remember reading the synopsis a while back when looking through, I normally look through websites to see like what anime are coming out in each season so I can plan my schedule for these videos. And I saw this one and I immediately thought it looked cool and that it was done by MAPPA, and the synopsis was good, so I just chucked it on my schedule and thought, let's do it. And then, like, to make it even better, they then announced a few days ago, and I saw this while I was scrolling through Reddit, that they were doing same-day dubs for it. And not only that, but the dub cast was great. So, I'm sure there is a lot of people who are going to be doing the subbed version of this. If you have been on my channel for a while before, you know I do a mix. I do some subbed shows, some dubbed shows. I love dubbed shows very, very much. But I also love to keep up with anime. And so I will often, like, if I can do dub and I feel like it's right for the show for me, then I do dub. So I did dub for stuff like Delicious in Dungeon, which had same day dub as well. But then sometimes, you know, there's stuff like Blue Box, which comes out and there's not a dub immediately for Blue Box, which now there is one coming out, but I wanted to stay up to date with that show, so I watched it in sub. And, you know, I love watching it in sub as well. I generally watch every show in both dub and sub. Why am I spending so much time justifying it? Because always, especially on the first episode or two, there's always like a comment or two that's like, why the hell are you watching it in English? Like, what's wrong with you or whatever? And I mean, those people are idiots, so it's not worth responding to them. But I do feel like there are some people who are just like mildly disappointed that I'm watching it in dub. And for those people, I think I offer an explanation on why it's best for me. Trust me, it is genuinely, I've watched anime for enough time. I know what I'm doing. It's genuinely the best for me. But for those dub fans out there who really like the dubs, often you don't get many reaction channels doing the dub. Especially for shows that aren't super popular. Like, people will do the dub for stuff like Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia maybe and stuff like that. But then shows like this, like random shows, ZENSHU, there's not going to be many people watching it anyway. So, you know, for you to, like, if you want to see a dubbed reaction, it's going to be hard to find. So hopefully I can provide that for you, and I hope that I live up to your expectations. If I don't, I'm really sorry. Not everyone can be for everyone, but I'll do my best. I promise you. So we're doing ZENSHU, we're doing a dub. I'm excited to get into this. I've been looking forward to watching this and to check out what the show is. And yeah, I mean, while I'm watching the show, I might be, like, especially the first episode, I might be sort of gushing about actors that I like in it, because when I saw the cast list, I went, wow, that's a good cast list. Off the top of my head, I remember Lucy Christian's in this, and Alexis Tipton is in this. I love those two so very much. But yeah, anyway, let's just jump into the episode. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you want to watch the full-length reaction, you can sync it up with your own footage on my Patreon account down in the description below. So if you like my videos, I mean, maybe check out this video, see if you like my style first, and if you do, go to my Patreon account and join up, and you get full-length early access exclusive videos for both this channel and my Gent Watches One Piece channel, which means you get thousands and thousands of videos of backlog content for such a small price. So go check that out. Anyway, let's jump into this. This is ZENSHU episode 1. Here we go.
I am the Natsuko Hirose.
Natsuko.
My meteoric rise in anime started at high school. A humble junior animator honing her craft.
Ooh.
There, I went from animation director to storyboard to directing a series, all in the span of an instant.
Natsuko Hirose.
May forget. It cries for justice.
Awesome.
And now I'm directing an original rom-com feature film called First Love.
Ah,
It's gonna be a
rom-com.
big
She wearing
Natsuko,
Crocs.
My darling,
Oh my gosh.
You
Can't
gotta
see her
read
face
that
at
name.
all.
But first, let's see what you got so far.
Nothing. She just threw it all away.
No big progress until the 11th hour. That's just how you do. By the by, I'm just gonna put these bentos down and skedaddle. Make sure you grab one. Hey, you two.
They have a lot of trust in
The
her.
great director
I guess it makes
Natsuko is
sense.
a 10 billion yen blockbuster into this world.
Oh no.
Out. And be sure to toss the clam ones, yeah? They're leftovers from last time and very expired.
Oh no. That's how it looks for my hair. I've got long hair. That's how it looks for my hair sometimes. Oh my gosh, girl, tie your hair back.
start over.
Oh!
Unsalvageable, need to be redone.
Oh.
I don't.
Start over.
Could you please be a bit more specific?
Yeah, tell her why.
Maybe
How?
Where we went wrong? Can't work on anything else until you're finished with the storyboards.
Oh. Does she just want an excuse
No,
to
the
work on
hair's
something
purpose.
else?
Said she won't cut it until the storyboards are done.
Well, fingers
Oh.
crossed I catch her at the salon soon.
Oh my god, I saw the only reason I'm alive is Natsuko Hirose's next film.
Creature, the late director Tsuruyama's family visited her home where they found her unresponsive.
Oh.
The cause of death is thought to be food poisoning.
Oh. Did she eat some bad clams?
Can the team help you with anything?
This woman
the
seems so
storyboards?
sweet.
No, I'll do everything myself.
Oh, get your head out of your ass.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you better get out of there, girl. Run. Oh god, she's like the ring girl.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Who said you go make that ramen on your own?
Good cover, dude. Clam? No! That's the one that's expired!
Tale of Perishing. The story follows Luke Braveheart and his band of friends as they fight to stop the formation of the Great
Luke
Void that
Braveheart?
will bring an end to the world. Kinda why it's the best. I wonder if it'll get the live
Oh,
action
those
treatment. If it
clams.
did, Luke would need to be a... Why am I blanking on his name?
Yep, they're bad. Oh. I mean, that's the fault of the person who didn't fucking throw away the... Oh no. Is she gonna like hallucinate
Natsuko, are you okay?
and like go into the
Natsuko!
world or something? I don't know.
Natsuko!
Isekai
What's
to some
wrong? Are you
world.
sick?
Okay, what the fuck's going on? Uh-huh. This feels like she's being isekai'd, but like maybe only in her head. Seems like it.
This isn't the office.
Like she might just be in a coma right now. Oh my god. Oh, I don't like the rubbing of the tendrils, whatever they're called. Oh. Oh, is that Luke Braveheart? That's Lucy Christian. Yeah. Oh, right through. Oh, and then he immediately gets sucked into a portal. That's cool.
Wait, Luke Braveheart?
You trying to die?
What? No! QJ! Shut up! Your cosplay is perfect! Really, just like a real animal!
I smell like a what now? What is this here? I've not not seen such strange dress before.
And that's Alexis
Probably a
Tipton.
village idiot who wanted to see a void.
What?
Know of you?
Director of Sukeban Magical Girl Darkness Academy, that Natsuko Hirose.
Wild name.
I gotcha.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, what is going on? Do that!
Well, you guys aren't gonna give her a ride back?
Gremlins on this way.
Dicks.
I am so lost right now. Okay, this has to be some big budget theme park, right?
It's pretty cool.
Yet again, the 9 soldiers saved the soul future
Whoa,
and our
a
lives.
pink
Let's show them
massage?
just how grateful we are.
That's the mayor of the last city.
Madam
Madam Baobab! Our champions of true light!
I wish we could see her face when she's saying all this.
Now the
I
song of
wanna,
the feast starts to play.
I wanna see how excited she is. I can hear it in her voice.
Foreground, doves fly by.
Yeah, she knows this
The soul
back to
future.
front.
Wait, that's the soul future! Am I in A Tale of Perishing?
What kind of a question is that?
Oh my god, you are! I know what that means. I got isekai into an anime!
Yeah, there you go.
An isekai, if it's an anime, is that its own. It's to desperate, lonely nerds! But I had a career, benefits, all the adult stuff. Do you know?
Quit your dooming and glooming. This is our party.
Hard pause.
Say what?
Hard
So
pause.
far, mostly everything's been shot for shot from the anime. First was the.
Does
and now we're
someone
in the
break
middle of the
in?
grand feast scene. After
There's
that,
like a monster
doesn't
attack or
the city
something?
get attacked?
Yeah. But you're hungry, so.
Luke, is it?
Because he's charging, and from now on, that's what he'll be doing whenever he's actually needed.
It's like a
The guy
plot
who's gonna
convenience.
Save the world. Gremlin here and go clog a drain. What? How would I tear out the horn?
Oh my god.
To the floor.
Aw.
Threaten him again and I'll destroy you. No one hurts my friends.
Aw.
Today is
You
a
don't want
day
to
of joy.
disappoint the main character.
You are a wild
Something
beast
you watch
bent
all the
on
time.
sullying it. Go back to your nest in peace.
Oh, damn. He's a pretty harsh
Some hero you
protagonist.
Excuse me? You're a person?
Gorgeous! It's the perishing meal from
Oh.
the movie, and it's real!
Rub it up.
Yeah, whenever you see like anime food and it
You're
looks
not the only
amazing.
one who's starving. Ow.
Can I just have
You there? Step back.
It's so real. That's exactly what it'd be like. I want to try the meat in anime. It always looks so good. I'd want to go into One Piece and just like take what Luffy's eating. He's such a dick.
Seriously? Why is he such a brat? Then the 9 soldiers are gonna defeat the army, and Yunio's gonna die.
Oh, Yunio dies.
Whatever. Actually, no, not whatever. Yunio's Luke's
Have some
best
more.
friend.
Void attack is imminent!
Well, would you look at that? I was right.
Feel bad now?
Deal with this quickly so we can get back to drinking.
And there's the damn death flag!
There's a lot of meta stuff going on in this anime so far.
This is how the story's supposed to go. It's not like I can change it.
I mean, you might be able to. If you weren't being so weird, you might have been able to actually warn them. You're watching it live. Oh, the way the voids just appear when they die is awesome. What's that? Oh, that's sick.
I can't.
You don't want to watch him go through that. You see a mouth.
Let's go. Fates must be drawn.
Who's there?
What?
Hurry.
Must be drawn?
Can talk?
Draw it, Natsuko.
What the fuck? You're gonna have to draw a different ending or something?
Meggy, Hamiteki Magia.
This is where he sacrifices himself, I imagine.
It's that girl.
Okay, what you gonna do?
To stop him! It's only your fault.
Okay.
What do you draw?
Draw.
You must draw a new fate.
I get that. What do I draw?
You must discover that for yourself.
Oh God.
So obtuse.
Who is she speaking with?
Oh man, you're really in it now, Unio.
Just draw a circle out around
done this
Unio.
Not really something you can practice.
I
Here's
don't
hoping
know.
I pull it off. The least I can do is make a cool exit.
Aww. Oh, we see her eyes! Oh, awesome. Holy shit! Oh my god. Look at this sequence. Oh, this is awesome.
What is this?
Oh. I like the design. Yeah, quick! Sharpen. Oh my gosh, there's so much you have to draw. Nice. So you had to draw a way that he could get out of this situation. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love that it's got like the animation art style, like the, you know, unpolished sketch art style. Oh my gosh. It's like we're watching an unfinished scene. Did you do it before Unio blew up? Or did you just blow up Unio yourself? No, okay, he's okay.
Unio safety confirmed. Void response is 0%.
Yeah, you gonna even give me some food now, motherfucker?
Tell me.
From the real world. And I'm an animator.
Oh. It's nice to see her face. I was gonna say, if we didn't see it by the end of the first episode, I would have been sad.
Tell me you saw that. I don't know what I did, but it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, take credit for it.
She's from the real world. And she's called an animator.
Is this an ED or something? It is. Cool. Ooh. Oh, I love this song so far. Oh! So fast speaking. Oh, who does this song? It's so good. Saw. Oh, this is a great ED. Aww. Okay, that was the first episode. Wow. Interesting show. I didn't know it was gonna be that, right? I knew it was about an animator. And I knew that the fictional characters in the series were gonna be like voiced and stuff, because when I saw the English dub cast announcement, it showed like pictures of the characters, and like a lot of the characters were, you know, one of them was a unicorn and one of them was, you know, so I was like, okay, so the characters in like one of the anime or whatever are going to be voiced and stuff. I thought what it would be was the animator like trying to come up with ideas or something and then is watching the anime, and so I thought there'd be so many scenes of the anime that it would just like that they put them in the main cast or whatever. I didn't know she was going to get isekai'd in to the anime itself. But then, yeah, when she started to pass out from those clams, I realized what this series was going to be. Okay, so yeah, I didn't know this was an isekai. Wild. And it was a good first episode. I wonder what, you know, like what the show... So, I mean, I'm kind of seeing the trajectory of the show a little bit. She's been isekai'd into this. I think there's supposed to be some romantic tension between Natsuko and Luke Braveheart, right? So I think the idea is that throughout the series, she's going to be helping them out while also, you know, slowly falling in love with Luke Braveheart. And so she's going to learn about how romance works so that when she comes out, she can draw the storyboards for the romantic comedy, whatever, like the romance movie that she's making. So like I can see the trajectory of the show or at least what they're setting up to be the trajectory of the show. Whether or not what it changes is, you know, remains to be seen. But that's like the obvious, you know, what I can see is going to be the plot of the series. But I wonder what the episodes in between are going to be like. I wonder what the actual series is going to be like, because I can kind of see what the ending is going to be. Possibly. I might be wrong about that, but I think I can see where the ending is going to be. And I see where we've started. But it's a wild place to start. Real crazy. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. I think what's really fun about a series like this is when you have, and I really love meta series that are about creating stuff, you know, like when there's, like, for example, one of my favorite manga is actually Bakuman, which is a manga about two guys creating manga. And it's like, it's created, the actual Bakuman is created by the people who did Death Note, and they used Bakuman as like, as a way to sort of tell a bit of the story of like, of them doing Death Note. Like, it isn't about, in the series, it isn't about them making Death Note, but there are some pretty heavy winks to it, and things where they're showing, like, you know, that they wanted to end Death Note earlier. Like, if you've seen Death Note, there's like a clear point where the main story kind of ends and then it keeps going. Now, I did reactions to Death Note on this channel. I liked all of Death Note. That I really didn't have a problem with the bits later on that that they did afterwards. Some people do have a problem with it because it feels kind of different. I never had a problem with that. I thought all of Death Note's solid, you know? Sure, that bit isn't quite as good as the initial stuff, but it's still cool and it's still good Death Note stuff. But it's fun to see in Bakuman, like, them kind of showing through these characters how they wanted it to go. And you know, why they were sort of like influenced into doing something different. So I always like seeing series do behind the scenes within their own series. And what I think is also fun about it, and what I think is really brave about it, is if you make, for example, a manga about making manga, then you kind of have to, it kind of has to be good. You know what I mean? Like, if the manga, like, if Bakuman isn't good, then how can you say that the manga within the universe of Bakuman is good? And if the manga within the universe of Bakuman is good, but Bakuman itself isn't good, then you're like, well, I can't believe that this manga is good or not, because, like, the people who are writing this manga think that this manga is cool, so why would this manga be good? Like, there's, you know, you're sort of holding yourself to a standard by making yourself the authority. Because if in the series, like, I'm going to actually use ZENSHU as the example, because a lot of you probably haven't read Bakuman or I think there's an anime, seen the anime of Bakuman. But if we're talking about ZENSHU, right? When you're doing an anime about a person who animates, and she's supposed to be really, really good, the thing you might run into is, if she's supposed to have drawn this really amazing scene, you have to show it to us. And if you show it to us and it's shittily animated, then it hurts the moment and it makes it bad, because you're like, that's what she did, you know? The same thing with Blue Period, right? Blue Period is a great series about an artist painting, but the thing is, they have to actually show us the paintings. And so I find it really, really interesting, because it's like, if you have the characters in the series go, wow, that's an incredible painting, we have to see the painting, and we have to also say, wow, that's incredible. Like, I feel like it's much easier to do, like, if there's a fight, it's much easier to do, like, oh, he swings his sword and everyone blows up, and it's like a really easy thing to animate, and then you can say, wow, he's a really good fighter, even though, like, it looked really lame, but you can tell in universe he still killed all the guys, so he still is a good fighter. But you can't do that with, like, animation. So all that being said, I think MAPPA is one of the only studios that could, like, pull a series like this off. Well, I mean, that's not true. There are lots of people who could, but I think MAPPA is one of the only ones who I feel like would be brave enough to pull the series off, because it allows them to say like, hey, this is really good animation, and then they can actually just throw 1,000 workers at it and then make them do it. I don't know if that's what's happening. I'm just saying, like, MAPPA is, you know, unfortunately known for their like harsh work conditions and stuff, which sucks, and I hope that's not the case with this series. But you know, like they're quite a big company, and they're known for like pretty intense, like detailed animations and movement and all of that. So I feel like sequences in this, when they say, oh, it's really good, that we're actually maybe going to see something really good. But I mean, that depends how much of Natsuko's animations we'll actually see in this series, because she's in this isekai world now. So she's not necessarily going to be drawing very much, but they did give her a reason that drawing is like part of her power in this. So, yeah, I wonder what it's going to be like. I liked in this episode the solution to it, you know, drawing a big monster thing that blasts a laser at things or whatever, right? Now my hope for the rest of the series is that we do more creative stuff with her drawing scenes, instead of like, I don't just want it to be like she just draws a different monster every episode, you know? Like, I hope that we actually have her drawing some creative stuff or doing some interesting stuff. I can also see there being some emotional moments later on where she like draws something very sad and makes it come to life against people's will in some way. I don't know exactly how her drawing powers work, because it seemed like I thought she was going to be drawing like something different that Yunio did. Like, Yunio, instead of doing the self-destruct thing, actually like changed it at the last second to be like a beam that like, or like a big wall of force that appears in front of him, and then that wall like shoves them all away, or something, you know. This is something else that Yunio himself was doing, but instead she just drew a monster. So I don't know if she can change other people's actions, or if she can just draw something that then appears in the universe. It feels like it might just be the latter. She's essentially playing, you know, Scribblenauts, where she's just like, you know, you're not changing the scenario, you're adding something to it to make it go differently. So I wonder like what the limitations of her power is, and I'm curious to see what they do with it. But I mean, so far I like Natsuko's design. I was thinking throughout the episode, like, obviously they're covering her face because they want to have like a reveal of like what she looks like, you know, they want that to be a cool moment. But I was nervous for a bit that would be like end of series reveal. And I was thinking like, I don't want to wait that long. Because another thing is, I love character designs, and I love seeing characters' eyes. Like, I think eyes are like really, really fun to watch in characters and see how expressive they are. And so when a series has like good animation, good character designs, and want to get attached to characters, I like looking into their eyes. And you can't do that with Natsuko. So the voice actress for Natsuko is doing a really good job, like, emoting. I can understand how she feels purely from her performance, but we don't get to see any of that on her face. We can kind of see it in body language as well. Like, she moves around in ways that shows how she's feeling a lot of the time. And so they're doing an impressive job with that. But I like to be able to see the expression on their face. I was worried that it was going to be the end of season. It wasn't. They were saving it for the big moment of the episode, which was really well animated, by the way. But I was kind of watching the whole episode, and I was thinking, like, this show, I don't see any like problems with the animation, but I haven't seen any major like, oh wow, this is MAPPA, all right. But then that animation sequence, I was like, oh, okay, that's where they put all the time into. Like, that was one crazy intense sequence. So I wonder if we're gonna have one like that every episode, you know, like maybe they play it chill for the whole episode in terms of animation, and then they put all of their energy into like one sequence in every episode. I don't know. Because the fun thing about having anime original stories as well is that you kind of get to design the anime around the cool moments that you want to happen in animation form. Like a lot of the time when it's based on, like if it's based on a light novel, the cooler moments are often cool story beats, I feel like, you know, like a cool speech that a character does, or like, you know, if I think of like Re:Zero, which was based on a light novel, some of the like standout moments of that series is like him talking to Rem, you know, like that speech that he, or that whole conversation that he has with Rem up on the roof or whatever. Like moments like that are like really important moments in the series, but that's not like an animated, like amazing animation moment. That's like this is a really important character moment. And that's because, in my mind, that's because it was based on like a web novel / light novel. And then in manga, I feel like you often have the really cool moments might be based around like a still image, like a really cool thing you can see. And then in anime, it's based around an animated sequence, right? And so often when anime is based on a light novel or a manga, those authors have written those moments to work best in their medium, and then the anime can generally bring out the best in that if it's a good anime. But you know, you have to do more creative stuff with it to get it to be more interesting. And like I think Kaguya-sama is a great example of that, right? Like Kaguya-sama as a manga does a lot of, you know, visual jokes that work well in manga form, but then the anime, what it does is it takes those visual jokes and it does them, but then it also does jokes that will only work in the anime, you know, stuff that requires sound or the voice acting or whatever, you know. So anyway, point is, with this, since this is an original anime, I can see them writing the story based around getting to do cool animation sequences, and I hope that's the case, because I hope we get to see some really cool animation sequences in here. I mean, if we're gonna watch this story, if this series wasn't created by MAPPA, if it wasn't created by a good animation studio, you know, like if it wasn't created by MAPPA or Science Saru or Bones or like someone that I really liked, then I probably wouldn't be interested. Like I probably wouldn't bother. I might even like have watched this first episode and thought, that's cool, but like if that animation sequence that they did at the end there, if they didn't pull it off, then I would have been like, yeah, but it may not be for me, and moved on, you know? The story isn't so far so engaging as to grab you with that alone, but I'm interested in seeing what they do with the animation sequences, what they might do with Natsuko's character, and I'm curious to see when she gets to isekai out, which by the way, I imagine she's not actually, I imagine none of this is real, and that's kind of it's kind of sad actually when you think about like the idea that all of this series could be a dream, but that's kind of what I feel like is happening. Maybe at the end of the series though, they're going to give us a confirmation that it's not a dream, that it actually happened some way, but like right now, it feels like this whole series is supposed to be a dream. She passed out because of the clams. Like I guess what it's trying to make us think is that she died from the clams, because we had the news article about another animator or whatever who died, or a director who died from food poisoning, and then she eats the clams and then she passes out. So I think they're supposed to I think they're trying to get us to think that the clams were Truck-kun, who like actually killed her right then and there, and then she got isekai to this world, and now she's in this world forever. But I don't see that happening. Like I feel like the whole point of the series is that she's gonna do all this stuff and then go back to the main world and like make the perfect. Because otherwise, I feel like there's no point in setting up that whole romance movie that she has to make and turn in on time or whatever. I feel like that's kind of a waste to set all of that up and then have her not do anything with that. So she is, I imagine, going to go back to the real world, and I think the way they're going to do that is she wakes up in a hospital bed or whatever, or she wakes up on the floor there and goes like, oh, what happened? I was in an anime world and whatever, and they go, yeah, whatever, get back to work. And then she writes the perfect thing, right? That was inspired by her experiences here. That's what I see happening. But then you have the problem, I feel like, and I can't believe I'm already trying to troubleshoot narrative issues that they might have in 11 episodes time. But then you have the sad problem of like, of an audience going, hang on, so the whole show was a dream? That's not very satisfying. So I wonder what they're going to do with it. I'm really curious I actually want to jump to episode 12 or whatever the last episode is now and see where this series ends up going. Because I'm really curious how they're going to tackle it. I'll be fine no matter what. Like, I understand they've kind of set themselves up for like a rocky path here. So like, I don't think I'm going to be disappointed like no matter what, especially as long as they do like kind of cool animation things throughout the series. I might be disappointed if the animation is kind of lame in every other episode, but it, you know, if this series is just a fun excuse for them to do cool stuff, then let's watch it. I'm excited for that. But I'm really curious to see how they approach the story of this, because I feel like it could be a tricky story to crack. Oh yeah, and I mean, I feel like they've clearly also set up for her to cut her hair towards the end of the series, and we get to see what she looks like with short hair, and I'm really excited for that. I hope like she gets like really short hair, you know, she cuts it to like here. I want to see her in like a bob cut or something. That's just a small thing, but I think it would be cute. Also, I found it like Luke Braveheart, right? I found it interesting that he's the hero, and I mean the very first thing that I thought is he's gonna be this classic like, I will not leave anyone behind. Hey, hello citizen, I will protect you, don't worry. A fair lady like yourself shouldn't be out here alone. You know, like that sort of hero. But he really wasn't. He actually had like a lot more of a natural personality. He kind of didn't take people's shit, and he got annoyed with people. And like but he was like, it seems like he is genuinely a good guy, but he also isn't just like purely the perfect man. And so I find that interesting. I think they did some decent characterization with Luke Braveheart to make him not just a generic anime protagonist, even though that's kind of how he's set up to be. Like, the idea, right, is we're supposed to look at these and go, okay, I immediately understand the tropes of this, right? You can see the elven archer and like what her kind of trope is. You can see the sort of mascot best friend character who gives off the death flags and then dies, and then that's the, you know, like it feels like it's playing on a lot of different of these classic tropes. So I kind of expected his character to be more tropey than it was, but it wasn't. So and I mean that makes sense because they want to have this character be a long-term, like, it feels like he's basically one of the mains, like one of the main two characters. The whole ED was based from his perspective. It was almost like Natsuko was a side character in the ED, where it was like completely focused through his eyes. So yeah, and that makes me feel like he's gonna be the one falling in love with her first, but she doesn't understand love, so she might take a lot more time with it, I guess, is probably where we're going with it. But yeah, overall, solid first episode. I'm really interested to see where it's going. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad I watched the dub. It was a solid cast. I recognize some other voices in there as well. I mean, Patrick Sates was definitely one of the like random guards and stuff. And yeah, I enjoyed this first episode a lot. Hoping to see some more good animation, and curious to see where the story goes. If you want to see more ZENSHU reactions, please make sure to support the video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, subscribing to the channel. All that stuff helps me out a lot. If the series isn't super popular on this channel, it's always possible that I just, you know, don't continue with the series. There's a lot of series on this channel that I just haven't been able to continue because people weren't really into it, and it's not really worth putting in the workload when I could be putting that into other videos if no one's into it. So if you are into it, make sure to let me know in the comments. That's the best way for me to know to keep going. But also, you know, watch the whole video, share it around, do that sort of stuff. Really helps me out. But thank you for watching ZENSHU episode 1. Make sure to support this video. Go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, early access, and exclusive videos, and go to my One Piece channel, Jent Watches One Piece, if you like One Piece. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.